What's up, guys, and welcome back to the Game Show Global Esports Cup. We're in Game 3, the final game between FDG Fast Daedalus and Aspera. This time again with another stand-in. Still with lifelong tragedy on the drafting chair. Currently tied 1-1. Aspera rocked last game in a decisive game. Not quite as, a little bit more decisive than FDG's first game, but hey, it's 1-1, and that's all that matters. We'll see who's able to take it down once they actually start this draft, that is. I'm Mikelorus, going to be joined by Lyrical Gangster for this final game. Aspera seem to be working pretty well just on the fly.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they've been sort of being able to make the best of a bad situation, and certainly lifelong tragedy ended up coming through in spades in that last draft, making everything work that needed to have happen. And, you know, I didn't think that the lane was going to go as well for Huskar as it ended up going, but when you end up running that sort of aggressive tri-lane there, it does end up leaving you open to be able to, at least with a hero like Huskar who can dominate an Earthshaker, have a good time. So coming out early, we do see the Earthshaker band out as well as the Shadow Fiend and the Lesh. This leaves open Gyro, Queen of Pain, a bunch of other heroes that are just sort of also common. And they end up bountying on out the Huskar, so maybe we'll see that Bounty Hunter potentially.
It's a little bit of PTSD, perhaps. You usually don't see Huskar banned out this early, but at the same time, I feel like the Huskar pick only really worked because of the lane matchup. Like, if it was a Darkseer in that lane, yeah, the Huskar can put a lot of harassment into the Darkseer, but his lane will constantly be shoved in, so he can't easily, put as much pressure on the lane as a whole as he would really like. Bounty Hunter is in. There he is. He's now definitely in. It's Aspera's first pick, and then Lina as the response for FDG. It's with the Queen of Pain as well, so it's going to be a lot of nuke damage already for the FDG side, and it's going to bring Workin out of his Queen of Pain, which so far he's just been playing.
Yeah, so far been able to have that hero consistently over and over, and that's kind of a cool little advantage that you can get sometimes as well when you're going through these series is you get comfortable on a hero, you're able to play him a couple of times, and then you're able to just sort of do well better and better each game. I think, though, that this is a really cool way. It's still a somewhat open draft because Lina can be played in the safe lane, she can be played in the support role, she can be played mid. Queen of Pain likewise can be played in all those roles except for obviously the support role, and I think that they have a lot of options here. You can be throwing this Lina over into the mid lane, or as that roaming support duo. Maybe we end up seeing a Shadow Demon or a Rubik or something else like that picked up relatively soon. But the Tusk is going to be the next one here for the Dire, and that hero's been in each game, I think, so far.
I think every single time played by Aspera, it was Afterlife 1101, and then who knows at this point, might be Afterlife again, might be 1101, but clearly they both can play it. Getting on top of Alina certainly has its value. LSA is really hard to land after Snowball. I mean, you could try to time it properly, and sometimes it'll work, but other times it's far from dependent. We got the Dazzle ban out. It seems like FDG just really scared about the combos from last game, and it is still possible to combo up the Tusk, but not as explosive without this Dazzle combination. Spirit Breaker now for FDG. They're looking to play a little bit aggressively themselves. Spirit Breaker with the potential support Lina. You could roam around literally wherever and get kills on whoever you want. Tusk will sometimes be able to snowball dodge it, but that's only going to happen if he actually sees you coming from a mile away.
Well, and this also opens up the possibility of a Spirit Breaker, Lina stun. The Charge of Darkness stun ends up going to 1.5 seconds. Light Strike Array is a a 0.5 cast delay. So a very easy setup there for her stun, depending upon where they are. This can be a roaming support combo as well, or potentially you just have Lina in lane and then Spirit Breaker comes on in and you set up that very long duration stun. Really, really deadly combo, even at those early levels for the Spirit Breaker. So definitely Aspera is going to need to be cognizant of this and make sure that they don't get caught out of position or have any big problems with getting those long stuns in. Snowball is there as well, though, so maybe Tusk is going to be okay through this.
Winter Wyvern is actually still in the pool, but it's not going to be the selection just yet. Disruptor is instead picked up for Aspera. It's not the most direct counter. You can't stop the Spirit Breaker from charging most of the time, but he won't be able to do anything follow-up and probably no Nether Strike down the line since he's just going to get glimpsed back. Vengeful Spirit, 3 in a row? No.
Yeah,
3 in a row?
I think so. Unsung hero this matchup.
Alright, so Vengeful Spirit with a little bit of damage. This is actually looking very aggressive from FDG. The Vengeful Spirit's upside of just being able to wander around and do a hell of a lot of damage and make her allies do a lot of damage as well. Now we're seeing a lot of flexibility here from the FDG draft. Like, Vengeful Spirit is 9 times out of 10 going to be played as support, but setting up with the Spirit Breaker for the likes of Lina, Queen of Pain, that's really dangerous game. And even the Bounty Hunter to a lesser extent. Like, he's up against now 3 heroes who can punish him for just tracking a target. Spirit Breaker, Charge, Blinken from Queen of Queen, Vengeful Spirit, Wave into Swap. I mean, that's probably the least viable, but still, this Bounty Hunter's going to have to be very careful down the line about who he tracks and where he actually tracks them. FDG, really the only thing they're missing right now is some way to push towers, and then they're going to be golden.
I'm wondering if we're going to see a Drow pick here in a second. Ember Spirit is going to be the pickup. I think it's a little bit deadly with the Bounty Hunter and the Ember Spirit, but if you shut down that Bounty Hunter in the early game, particularly with a Spear Breaker charging around the map with a dust on him, that could be an effective little game plan. And they're banning out gap closers here. The Storm Spirit banned out, the Huskar banned out, the PL banned out. Bounty and Ember are still here, but it might be a little bit obvious, and they might end up opting to ban out Drow here. But that would be a whole lot of damage in the early stages of this game if they did end up going for that pick.
And Ember Spirit is not really in the safest environments. Like, he is sometimes going to be able to dodge a Spirit Breaker's initiation, but there's so many forms of initiation here. And I like the Luna ban coming out from Aspera. Yeah, still, it's possible for FDG to just bowl them over really quickly. Ember Spirit needs a lot of time to get going. There will be certain situations, should he have the proper supports around him, where he can just go off with his Flame Guard, with the Searing Chains. But it doesn't seem like that's going to be the most guaranteed thing in the world, especially in this game. Even Phantom Lancer banned out, which is a little bit strange to me. But FDG, their last pick. If this was CIS Rejects looking to end the game early, probably a Jakiro. But I don't know if FDG want to go that deep.
I'm wondering if it's going to be a Drow. That's honestly what I'm thinking, but I don't know if that's what they're going to go for.
Ember and Tusk.
Right, it's scary, but look at all of that right-click damage that you've got. Like, you don't have a ton of ability to keep the Drow alive, but the damage potential might be there where they can just out-DPS your enemies. We'll see if that's what they go for. Certainly lots of other options in the pool for whatever they might want to go for. Bloodseeker's there? Yeah, great. Why not? But like you said, it's already a lot of damage even with the Venge, so maybe they don't need that. Maybe some more CC would be pretty good here to deal with that Ember.
Yeah, so, or maybe they just say, screw the Ember Spirit, we're just going to end the game before Ember Spirit can actually get off to that decent start. Yeah, he may be able to use his Remnant to jump away sometimes, but that means he's not in the fight anymore, and that means we can take his towers and do stuff like that. Yeah, it just seems like they just want to play this game as aggressively as possible, and for Aspera, just grabbing that Disruptor, grabbing the Ember Spirit, they just do need a little bit more time. They need a hold the fort type hero. Mostly for the mid game, it seems, for Aspera. There's a chance Ember Spirit goes there, but I don't know. It's tough. That Queen of Pain's picked up. Shadow Fiend is banned out. Of course, Lina and Leshrac all eliminated in some way, shape, or form. And just with these 4 heroes alone, I like where FDG are a lot better than where Aspera are.
Yeah, I think that, again, it's a lot of very strong laning heroes out of FDG as well. You got Lina, Queen of Pain. Spearbreaker, not great, but when you pair him with somebody else, wonderful. And that's up against a Bounty Hunter also, who can make one lane stronger depending upon where he's at in that lane, but certainly can be a little bit weak as well in every other lane that's around, because he's going to be roaming around, he's going to be trying to make stuff happen, but that leaves your safe lane a little bit more. Oh, I like that pickup right there. That's pretty cool. Looking for a lot of damage, grouping on up to take heroes and towers down, probably at around, once he gets that first level in the ultimate, doing it a little bit solo, and then around that 15-minute mark, I would say, probably going to have a lot of damage on the line.
It's the best of both worlds. Like, they'll have the ability to push towers, which I mentioned earlier, and they have another form of CC now, as you mentioned, so Dragonite just does it all here for fast Daedalus, and usually Dragonite kind of a lower damage hero unless you get super far ahead. Vengeful Spirit is the type of hero that can kind of balance that one out. Just Wave of Terror and Dragonite is suddenly doing a lot more damage, the Aura as well, and you'll have a lot of setup as well. Magnus is the last pick for Aspera. If they do somehow manage to drag this game out super late, the Ember Spirit getting some extra farm with Empower from Magnus, yeah, it is extremely, extremely deadly, but I don't really know if they have enough early game to deal with what FDG are actually bringing to the table right now. They'll have to get really far ahead just off of the early game laning stage, and that's going to be rough.
It will be rough. It's going to be hard for them if they do get behind early. The one little tidbit of coolness, like you mentioned, is that Empower, which means that Ember can probably go straight for a damage item like that Daedalus and doesn't have to build into the Battle Fury first. So there's a little, silver lining on the cloud of a little bit of danger as well. but I don't know how well it's going to end up working out for him. It's certainly a little bit precarious. I think particularly the fact that Dragonite's going to be able to do a good job in the mid lane. I think that against either of these heroes here, Ember Spirit or Magnus, it's a pretty good matchup for Dragonite because the main way that he ends up falling behind is if he gets pushed out of lane. And I don't think these heroes can do that. They sort of form the same role that he does in the mid lane where they just try and CS with their spells that they have. It does look like it's going to be Magnus with Shockwave there against him.
Yeah, it's like Shockwave versus Breathe Fire. For the most part, they're the same skill, at least in how they behave, and even kind of similar AoE. But yeah, the Dragonite matchup should be fairly even, and that's exactly what Dragonite wants. That's kind of what the Magnus wants, but Magnus, he does have a little bit more threat towards the DK in a 1v1 scenario. Gotta watch out for that skewer, since it is a melee versus melee. Gonna be a lot more close together, and you have a chance to get some skewers. But either way, we'll see how these lanes are actually going to shape up in its entirety. It's going to be Lady Luck on the Spirit Breaker. Again, playing these RNG heroes was an Ogre Magi before. I like the consistency there. Lodine is on the Vengeful Spirit. Droid is on the offlane Quap. That leaves the Dragonite, played by Turson. And down towards bot, it's going to be Zara's Lina. They're going to be farming up Lina solo safe.
Yeah, interesting. And that's going to be up against the Tusk here, who's going to be played by Afterlife. Over towards that top rune, we have Waiting here, who's going to be on the Bounty Hunter, stalking his way towards that rune. Working is going to be on the Magnus, hoping to make some big plays. Lifelong Tragedy on the Disruptor, and last but not least, 1101, who's going to be playing that Ember Spirit, getting ready for a little bit of engagement here at the very start of the game, jockeying for some position. We do have Breathe Fire level 1. Are they going to be able to get something here? Tusk ends up getting him up there. Not Tusk, excuse me, Magnus. That's a Cliff Dragonite. Now what you want to have happen, Workin's going to pay for it with his life, but it looks like they're going to be able to deny him out. Waiting here, making the plays happen. Really solid. Did get dusted up, but I think he's going to be okay. One bash is all that they need. Lady Luck, not quite lucky enough. Charging forward one more time. Does he get... Oh, there's no bash. What am I talking about? He's level 1. Yeah, okay, and that's going to be Waiting here, being able to get away.
So it's not a Dragonite versus Magnus, it's a nobody versus Magnus. At least for Dragonite, right? He got the bounty rune, so he will get this courier delivery. Lodine's gonna be okay with this. Like, he's able to get maybe even level 2 by the time Dragonite is able to rejoin this lane. Probably not, but either way, big skewer up there for the Magnus, forcing out 100 gold from the DK, who just wants to get his bottle. In this type of situation, when you have melee versus melee, very similar heroes in the mid lane, whoever is able to get their bottle, whoever gets more runes, better runes, is going to be winning. And that's going to mean that Workin is already a little bit closer to his bottle than Dragonite is. I don't know how much it's going to matter in the grand scheme of things. Probably not too much, but still, it's a very minor win there for Aspera, at least as far as mid lane is concerned. Top lane, we got ourselves a dual lane situation for right now. Spirit Breaker just poking and prodding, but you know, he has charge, which is nice and everything. Charging an Ember Spirit, kind of difficult since he already has Sleight of Fist.
Yeah, definitely a little bit tough. You can dodge that pretty nicely if you're able to time it out perfectly. I will mention Waiting here is just going to be waiting here in the mid lane, hoping to snipe on off that bottle. And unlike Dire, there aren't a ton of great avenues for that. Ooh, Droid top lane. Is he actually going to end up going down? No glimpse back this time around. Already been used one time on that Queen of Pain. But, you know, getting thrown off a little bit there at the very beginning of this match as well. Kind of tough for the Dragonite, because this means that he might not quite have the mental fortitude to recognize that the Bounty Hunter's sitting there waiting for his bottle to be delivered.
It's just going to be getting into his mind a little bit. As if he's composed, and I want to believe that Dragonite will be, then he will be just fine. But this is the goal of the Bounty Hunter right now. He is just going to stick around this area. He just wants this courier. Unluckily for him, the Dragonite's not last hitting well enough to get the bottle fast enough, so he may just not intercept this as he's actually leaving. No, Bounty, stick around. It seems like the Dragonite's actually going to be kind of safe in his approach with this bottle. Keep the courier in a safe place, and then he'll back off right once he gets a little bit more CS. But that, of course, leaves us in the last lane. It's Lina, Vengeful Spirit. I don't care who's on the other end, they're going to be having a rough time. If one stun lands, the other stuns are going to land as well. We got a Dust onto Waiting here, who's red going up the hill. However, glimpse back onto Droid. Waiting here still is revealed right now. A couple more hits from Droid. Oh, he's going to be denied again. Droid will fall, giving first blood to Aspera. And Spirit Breaker will have to walk. That's 2 denies. That feels so bad if you're FDG.
Oh my god, that's really, really well played. Heads up there by Aspera. Working taking a little bit of damage. Needs to be careful. Had he potentially gotten ready with that Dragon Tail, could have made something happen, but is going to get a refilled bottle here as well by waiting here. Always nice to have that happen for you if you're a Magnus. And he got a bottle charge out of it. Really, really cool. We do have a Sentry Ward dropped in the mid lane. This is going to be boots brought out to the Magnus as well. And it's been... oh my god, he actually skewers him. I don't think he's going to be able to get a kill here. Oh, with the Bounty Hunter coming in as well, they might be able to. One more hit off to the side there. Is it going to be enough? Looks like it might be. Dragon Tail again, waiting here, taking a lot of harassment. Does end up getting that last hit, though, and is just going to walk away. Absolutely no problem. Easy peasy lemon squeezy.
That's what happens. Again, melee versus melee. Magnus is going to have those openings. Even if he doesn't get the kill, and it almost seemed like he wasn't going to, just you spend 80 mana to get Dragon Knight grossly out of position. Maybe you force a TP, that's like the best case scenario, but you get a ton of free damage on him. The chances of Dragon Knight turning around and fighting the Magnus after having been skewered back, pretty much zero. So Magnus spending his mana very effectively to put a lot of damage onto the DK, and this time he got a kill, but again, even if he doesn't, it's still very much so worth it. He's going to look for it again, and we can see this Dragon Knight is really scared. You don't want to get close to this Magnus at all. And here comes the snowball. Looks like he doesn't have much of a choice. Skewer back, waiting here is also, look at that, waiting right there. And Turzen this time is going to get some support. Dragon Tail, nice breathe fire, but the shockwave will do him in. Magnus going to claim the kill yet again. Did not expect Afterlife there, but up towards top lane. They get the kill on the Disruptor up towards that lane, and Ember Spear chasing forward for Droid, slowly roasting from the Flame Guard. There's a blink in 2 seconds. There's a Sleight of Fist as well. Looks like Droid will be just fine. Well, he has Blink. He should be just fine. There's also another hero coming in. It's waiting here. Oh, Chain's blind. Gonna miss. Kind of sucks for 1101 there. Waiting here. Cannot get in fast enough. And it seems like Droid will be just fine here. They're going to start fighting the Spirit Breaker. There's no mana on the Ember, and Spirit Breaker is going to short charge away. He'll be just fine. But, man, Afterlife now up to the top lane. Yeah, this bottom lane just not fun for a Tusk, but he's still making things happen elsewhere.
Yeah, we've been seeing work in here as well, canceling on out the RPs over and over again. Oh, actually ends up catching him a little bit there. Lodi in a little bit of trouble, catches two. This is going to be an RP probably. No, the skewer misses, working, not able to get it. Afterlife now might end up falling if he's not careful. No, not enough mana or cooldown off of these skills quite yet, and Vengeful Spirit wasn't able to land the magic missile, so able to get away from there, but what an opportunity missed. He totally was going to be able to potentially get that RP had he just used it, but maybe not enough follow-up damage, opting to not use it that time around.
Yeah, the RP definitely would have landed on 2, but probably wouldn't have gotten both killed. Maybe you get 1. I'm pretty sure it's still worth it. I'm definitely sure it's still worth it for the Magnus, but man, I just love how Workin is, like, the attitude of this guy, just spamming RP, and then when he has an opportunity to do it, he just doesn't. He was, like, intentionally delaying kills in the previous game as the Queen of Pain just for funsies. This guy's having fun with it, and he's actually going to smoke up, go down towards bottom lane with RP at the ready. There's a glimpse here of a Disruptor, but not that much follow-up damage. Oh, never mind, there's a Tusk here as well. Someone's going to be on the receiving end of a Snowball. Looks like it's Zara. LSA not even going to be thrown. Now trapped in the shards. He's going to get a 2-man LSA, but he's already dead. Lodine now in a little bit of trouble. Skewer forward just for the slow, and Lodine's going to get picked apart. Stuck in the field, doesn't exactly help either. Workin's going to slay him. Vengeful Spirit down 5-1 for Aspera. You would think that FDG would be the one with this score, honestly, with their draft, but they're just getting outmaneuvered and outplayed, mostly just by this Magnus.
Yeah, he's been doing a really great job across the board. He's going to be able to bottle on up the Bounty Hunter and then pick up the regen for himself. I'm really, really worried about FDG right now. As you mentioned, they're looking for this very crisp timing where they're going to be able to make the most of all of their draft, the timing of Sonic Wave being up, being able to have the Dragon Knight ultimate. All of these things sort of work together in synergy mid lane. We might see him die again. Glimpse back one more time. Probably going to see a skewer. No, RP used instead. There's the skewer. Don't worry. Nobody saw. Nobody saw. It's fine.
BM skewer. Here comes the Ember Spirit. They're not done. He has Sleight of Fist, Searing Chains. He also has level 6. But again, no one saw that. Another field, and that's not going to connect. Sure. They teleport in. It's definitely not going to be worth Aspera's time. That was also RP wasted, but they don't get punished, at least. Not much farm happening on the Radiant end, so not a terribly huge deal.
very, very, very strange things happening in this game. But you know what? It's all part of Dota. These things occasionally happen. Waiting here is just doing that, waiting for the possibility to jump on in this Dragon Knight, who's relatively low, but is going to bottle up a little bit more. Did use Dragon Tail there on a creep. Not often that you see that, but wanting to secure that last hit for that very high 25 damage that it does. Meanwhile, up in the top lane, looks like they're going to try and finish off this stack over here. It's a pretty decent one. Maybe it's just going to be a pull off to the side. TP's coming on in from Disruptor. I thought they might try and do something there. DD is now up on Ember Spirit as well.
They were trying to go for Ember Spirit, but he jumped into the Spirit in the mid lane, and they're also going to find the Venge down towards bottom with the Snowball, and Bounty Hunter being involved, getting him some very useful experience. They do now know about the stack FDG, and if they are somehow able to clear that, that'll be huge, but I don't know, this Ember Spirit with a double damage rune can do quite a bit of damage to it. There's this one catapult here that's trying to do the stack. Droid may just want to use Sonic Wave for this. Like, honestly, the stack is big enough, and denying the enemy that golden experience is probably worth it for using a Sonic Wave and a Scream, but I don't know. They also have a Dragon Knight. Maybe they're going to try to slide him up there soon enough. He has level 7, so his ability to push towers is there, but man, he's just not comfortable pushing down the lane, because then everyone's going to converge on him if he actually leaves his tower.
Yeah, we saw that people are willing to converge even if they don't end up getting the kills, but making it work so far. We also do see the Magnus with the level of Empower here after he ended up taking 2 in Skewer, so getting that damage up on the Skewer and then finally getting a little bit of that extra love for his eventual carry. Mr. Ember Spirit scaring the life out of Dragon Knight one more time again with the RP usage up in the top lane. We are going to see a little bit of action going on. Droid ends up getting caught, is going to be slowed down a little bit longer. Thunderstrike on top of him, that ends up killing the Disruptor, no deny this time around, and Ember Spirit ends up killing him in return. Now we see Spirit Breaker trying to run away before he ends up getting taken out. Nobody really here, so I'm not sure. The rotation again, a little bit funky. This allows the Dragon Knight to be able to push on down this mid lane. Bounty Hunter down in the bot lane takes on Alina as well.
Oh man, that's level 7 up on Tusk now, so Walrus Punch, and level 5 on the Bounty Hunter, going for the Shuriken obviously, but is very close to his track, also has those Arcanes. A lot of extra gold in Bounty Hunter we don't ordinarily see, over towards mid lane. Just after a short glimpse back onto Turson right now. They have Magnus in the area for the Skewer RP, not going to be used just yet, still being held. Get the Walrus Punch, and now it's a 3-man RP, but the Disruptor's already down. Skewer gonna miss the Dragon Knight. He's the one who actually won, and now Droid's gonna get pulled back, but he's gonna walk out. Okay, Dragon Knight gets tagged with the Shockwave. It's taking off for way too long. Droid is actually walled off by the shards. I don't think he can actually go through that corridor, and he's gonna fall as well. This game has been just so clowny, but you know, after all is said and done, it's still Aspera to take these wins, and now Bounty Hunter's level 6, and I think, yeah, the Spirit Breaker got bashed by Roshan, so he couldn't actually go for that charge, which otherwise would have been a kill, and Tusk gets a kill on the mid lane Vengeful Spirit. This is just all coming up Aspera, and it seems like some of it is just kind of luck.
I mean, yeah, pretty much. It's been really, really weird so far. I don't know completely what to say. Oh, God, that ends up catching the Bounty Hunter there. Very nicely done. Light Strike Array one more time. We don't have... we do have Laguna Blade up, but they might save that for the Ember Spirit here. Maybe turn around Laguna one time. No, gonna opt to save that as well. Haste Rune up on the Ember. Absolutely one of the best runes that you can possibly have. He doesn't have a whole heck of a lot of mana, though. Is going to charge away lest he get killed by that Ember. And Ember actually chasing him with the Haste Rune. Almost quick enough to be able to make something happen there.
Not quite fast enough though, just going to slide over towards mid. It is a 7-kill advantage for the Dire side, however the CS is not going to be super in their favor. It is in their favor obviously, but 3,000 for 7 kills, that's pretty much what you would expect. The worst thing though about this for FDG is that this is where they're supposed to be ahead. This is where they're supposed to be on the aggressive, and the Bounty Hunter already has his track up. There's already a Blink Dagger on the Magnus. Like, even if this was a dead even game, then still FDG would be behind. They're going to try to Laguna Blade the Ember Spirit. They do get the kill there. That's a big one. They're going to need a couple more since the tracks are going to start flowing from waiting here. He's been involved in quite a few kills already, and you can only assume that he's going to continue up with that trend.
Absolutely. The other thing about this Magnus pick that I didn't talk about a ton is that Lifelong Tragedy here is going to end up getting caught a little bit. Glimpse still back up if they want to do it. Doesn't end up getting a bash. This time around, bash is there. Nicely done. Oh, they have enough for the kill. Not quite able to get it. Not level 6 yet on the Spirit Breaker. Mid lane, are we going to see a little bit more? There's the Skewer that they needed. Tusk ends up taking on down the Dragon Knight, and now we're going to see Zara get chased down a little bit as well. Droid trying to run away. Jump forward with the Blink Dagger. That's going to be a kill on the Queen of Pain. Light Strike Array ends up hitting onto 2, but Laguna Blade already used. There's not going to be enough there. He ends up getting taken down by one last kick of the Magnus. Lodine's getting chased as well. Nice jump in by the Spirit Breaker, but so much damage coming on out. Glimpses again, because why not? That's going to be a dead Spirit Breaker. Triple kill. for that Tusk, he has 2,000 gold roughly, and picking on up a medallion immediately, expecting to probably see a Roche pretty soon after this, I would imagine.
Or just all the towers in the world. This is so much cash for the bounty hunter. He just grabbed level 6 a little while ago, and then he got, I believe, 4 track kills there, maybe just 3, but I mean, maybe just 3 track kills. It's what a poor guy, only 3 track kills for him. This is a lot of cash, he said, for everyone else involved as well. And FDG just coming in one at a time, getting picked off piecemeal. This is the power of the shockwave of the Magnus, the chasing power given by the Tusk and the bounty hunter. And that wasn't even like Disruptor involved. Like, he got the glimpse at the end, but I mean, he glimpsed back a corpse. That was, for the most part, only 4 heroes from the Dire, and they just ran a train over the FDG side. The Ember Spirit's still not getting super head and farm, but man, it doesn't really matter since everyone else on FDG not getting anything in this game. Now tracks onto Lowdyne, Lifelong Tragedy. Gonna grab an illusion rune, it seems, and they will get a charge into waiting here, who's gonna get dusted up. He's gonna throw a track, but he's definitely gonna fall. Breathe Fire, Dragon Slave, double fire. They're gonna get initiation onto Lowdyne now, stuck in the field, will get dropped by the Disruptor. That's, I don't think, a track kill, but still, they see the Spirit Breaker coming in. Snowball's gonna dodge the first stun, but it's Lifelong Tragedy in the most trouble. Snowball's gonna catch up to the Spirit Breaker soon, and here comes the Ember Spirit and the Magnus both. But Sonic Wave, that actually didn't do that much. They're going to catch up to the Disruptor anyway, bring him down first. 1101 going to try to manhandle Droid, who's going to get punched in the air, the skewer through onto the DK, who's actually all alone. Spirit Breaker actually bought back, is going to return to this fight. He didn't buy back, he's just going to return to this fight. Zara going to try to go for the Tusk, not going to do it though with the Snowball, will get crushed underfoot, and now Tursin's going to try to TP out. The damage is enough, especially with the chains to cancel a TP. Not many track kills in that engagement, but a whole bunch of regular kills for the Dire side. This is getting out of control for FDG. This is how I expected the game to go, except swap the teams.
Right, exactly. It's been going exceptionally well at this point in time for Aspera, doing everything they need. They also now have a level 3 and power up on the Ember Spirit, so he's hitting for a lot, has the cleave that he wants. Ended up going for the drums first, but I'm thinking he's probably going to go for the little mini crit next, I would imagine. Certainly a possibility at least, and now they're going to be able to push on down this bottom tower here. We do see that the Spirit Breaker's trying to make something happen. Finally does have level 6, but honestly, I don't know if he can even really solo kill that many people besides the Disruptor at this point in time, and even the Disruptor has the tools to be able to get away from him with the glimpse as well as kinetic field to secure his exit. Like, it's a really precarious situation right now if you are FDG.
They have a charge into the bounty hunter. I don't think they actually have the manpower to kill him off. The Magnus also cleared out that stack of hard creeps that we were looking at earlier. That's going to give him his straight 4-staff. Charge is actually going to connect onto waiting here. There is detection on the Spirit Breaker, but there's a lot of backup for the bounty hunter. Nether Strike going to be canceled by some chains. He's now going to get, well, finally it off, but Snowball's going to come in. He will get dropped. That's a track kill for Afterlife, and Droid is failing to actually kill off this bounty hunter right now. Doesn't have a Sonic Wave. Tursin's going to try to approach with Breathe Fire. Not quite going to do it. They're stuck in the middle of the river. Blink RP connecting onto 3 with the Ember Spirit waiting for them. They're going to secure him up to the high ground. 2 heroes tracked up and 2 heroes to fall. No, okay, well, Droid's going to get away, but I don't think Tursin is going to. He's going to try to go for the kill, but Snowball's going to plank him down. Lucky that the Queen of Pain actually gets out of there, but for the Disruptor, that trade is so great for the Dire. Again, they're cashing in so hard right now with this track. 3, 3, and 10 on this Bounty Hunter. Mechanism is so close to completion. There's also a Glimmer Cape completed on Afterlife whenever he's able to pull that one together. FDG, that was just not the right position. You never want to be completely surrounded with literally nowhere to go.
Yeah, that was really excellent positioning across the board by Aspera, making it happen for them. And I really think that they're, you know, you take a look at this and what the draft of FTG is supposed to do. We've talked about it a million times, and I don't know if they're really going to have the possibility to turn this around in the late game. Ember Spirit just gets more and more powerful. He's going to be able to pick on up the damage. Oh, yeah, that'll do it.
Killed him off before the skewer was even needed. Queen of Pain is level 8. She has an Ogre Club, which is not bad. But, yeah, this is a level 13 mag, level 11 Tusk we're talking about, with Medallion. They're just going to go for the push just by themselves. Lowdyne and Zara both here. Magic Missile with an LSA Laguna Blade. No, Magnus still alive because of the Snowball. Now the track's coming in. That'll kill off the bench, giving Workin some extra cash. He is going to finally drop to the Lina. That's a wicked 6 streak for her. But still a track kill, and waiting here is still sticking around. The Disruptor thinking about coming in, looks like it's not going to be done. That was a pretty good trade for FTG though. Zara desperately needs the gold, now has her Yule Scepter plus another 2k in the bank.
Yeah, that's great. They really needed that one to happen. Also going to be able to get off that track with the Yule Scepter as well. Really great mechanic there. It makes a ton of sense. Maybe they're going to be able to start turning things back around now. There is always the option. You know, DK isn't terribly far behind. He's level 10 right now, so I guess he's pretty far behind, actually. 13 on the Magnus. And we're just going to have waiting here. Choke after him. Tusk is going to come on in as well. Walrus Punch. There is a static storm down as well. I don't know if they even needed that one, but he ends up getting completely eviscerated. Spirit Breaker jumping forward into Lifelong Tragedy. He's in a little bit of trouble, but is he going to end up getting taken out in the end? I don't think so. Excellent shards separating him from the Disruptor. Now we have Lodane trying to come in, able to take on down the Bounty Hunter from behind. Zara is here as well, but I don't think that she wants to hang out for too much longer. Jumping forward again with the Snowball. Afterlife gets caught, glimpses on back, but destroyed. Nicely done, and I don't even know if a Blink Dagger from Lina is going to be enough to turn this all back around.
Yeah, if she jumps in, maybe she gets a kill there, but she definitely doesn't escape afterwards. Bottom lane, the Ember Spirit is shoving that one. He's going to go for the Battle Fury, and oh, never mind about that Glimmer Cape. Afterlife sold the Cloak, and is just going to go for the aggressive item. I like this decision. If you're winning this much, you might as well keep up the pressure and try to win just a little bit harder. For FDG over in that mid lane, something went wrong there for the Vengeful Spirit. The fact that she was literally 10 experience away from swap. If she had that, Dragon Knight walks away because he was stuck in the kinetic field, Static Storm. You pull him out and you're good to go, but it just wasn't meant to be there. She finally does have that swap, but it's only level 6 Vengeful Spirit at this stage. Like, we have level 8 Disruptor, level 8 Bounty Hunter, and inherently they could just do a lot more than the low-level Vengeful Spirit, so the Dire side are pretty well positioned in this game, and hey, look at that. Tusk can draw yet another kill. He's going to land, however, into an LSA. No, the LSA misses from Zara. Swap back. They're going to get another shot at this one. Laguna Blade available. That'll kill off Afterlife. That's a godlike spree for the Lina. She is really getting these streaks to end, but at the same time, well, Turson, again, going to somehow dodge the skewer. But either way, it's a 1-for-1 trade. The Tusk is giving up a lot of cash, though, and I believe someone else on the Dire side also has a pretty good streak. It's the Magnus. He should have a decent-sized one.
Yeah, he did end up already losing that, I believe, earlier to the Lina, but might have it back up again. I mean, he's been able to get 7 kills so far, only died twice. Really impressive start. 4 staff as well as the Blink Dagger, and 2,100 gold on top of that. Given the way that we've seen Work in play recently, I wouldn't be surprised to see him go for something crazy like the... Oh, God. Wanted to go for the RP there. Thought he saw somebody, but it was just a tree, actually. Given the way he's playing, I wouldn't be surprised to see something crazy like a Mask of Madness or one of those other types of build that you occasionally see on Magnus where they end up going for the full damage.
Uh-oh, top lane, Disruptor, or Spirit Breaker rather, is he just dead? He's going to try to run, he's going to get glimpsed back into a Static Storm, and now tracked, and now dead. Shockwave going to claim yet another kill. Yeah, it looks like he doesn't have a streak to work with, but you already have Blink Dagger 4 staff 20 minutes in the game. You can go for, your double RPs for Refresh Orb. Zara actually going to get caught with Snowball. Ember Spirit's here as well. She'll use herself for a little while, but punch right back up into the air. Swap out from Lodine, going to buy her some time, but not enough. Ember Spirit gives chase with the Spirit Jump. He's going to grab that kill. No track involved. DK is going to arrive, but it's still just 2v2. They'll take down the Sigil. That's some cash for Lodine. Not too bad, but now they're both caught with the chains. Snowball's available, going right into Lodine. It's going to connect, and with one punch from the Tusk, that's going to be a kill. Now into Droid. Droid doesn't want any part of that. Even with Spirit Breaker coming in, it's way too late. Top lane also, Tower did drop. He has 3,000 gold now. It's a Shadow Blade for the Magnus. I think that's that might be the only item that I'm not kind of okay with. I think if he goes for Crit or Mask of Madness, I'd be a little bit more on board with that, but I mean, at a certain point, these mobility items have diminishing returns since the enemy team are just going to be bottled up in their base, and then Shadow Blade is just bad.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it is a little bit strange there. I'm guessing the other reason he might be going for it potentially, Charge going forward is going to be able to catch 1101. He doesn't have any remnants up right now. Another 3 seconds. Oh, it's going to end up connecting. Tusk coming on and is going to be able to do enough. Walrus Punch, and there was a Spirit Breaker there. Not any longer. Droid getting chased down as well. It's going to be able to blink away, thankfully, but it looks like the rest of... Oh, God, what happened?
Blink, it was the Searing Chains, Sleight of Fist.
Oh, too much. Not able to quite get away from that one. But what I was saying there is I'm assuming the reason that the Tusk is going for that, he might be building into a Silver Edge later to deal the break mechanic onto the Dragon Knight. I don't know if that's worth it, though. That's the only other thing that I can think about, given the lineup that they've got.
If you're going to do that, also, you only need either the Tusk or the Magnus to get that. Not both. That's... I mean, he may get the kill on Lina right now, but he's spending a lot of gold to get the Shadow Blade, and they already have complete map control. They don't need that.
Yeah, I think it's just style points probably, based upon the way that we've seen work and play recently. He takes a little while to take his kills. He cancels RP. It's all fun games, but
You want Battle Fury then, right? Isn't that more stylish
probably.
for Mag?
Yeah, I mean, but then you can go for the like super big invis into force staff, blink backwards on top of front flip, everything cool. Maybe that's not an actual thing.
Your eyes.
Yeah, so Roche getting taken down now as well is going to drop that Aegis in a second. Who do you think takes this one here?
Probably the Ember Spirit. The Tusk at this point, like, he's doing so much damage and has a decent kill spree as well, I believe. Or, maybe he's working on one, but really, as long as it's one of those two, they should be fine. It's not going to be touched by FDG. In fact, I don't even think they know about it. It's an Aegis on the Ember Spirit. He has level 4 in power, so, casually, just 85% cleave. Not a big deal. It'll get the job done. And, yeah, now he's just not going to die. He's only died once also, so it's difficult for FDG to get that done. They have an armlet on the Dragon Knight. I'm a big fan of armlet Dragon Knight, but this is like a 20-minute armlet. It's very slow.
I feel like part of the power of Armlet is the fact that it's a relatively inexpensive item also for how much it gives you. And the fact of the matter is that they're so far behind at this point that I don't know, it feels somewhat underwhelming to me, the amount that it's going to be able to do. Maybe like a crit and sort of double down on RNG. But I don't know, maybe it'll end up working out for them. Certainly, they're significantly better players than I am at this game, so they know what they're doing more than I do.
Oh, someone's TPing in. They're going to get skewered back. No, don't do it. Oh, there we go. He's tracked up. He's chained down. Dragon Knight is going to breathe some fire, pop his ultimate. Oh, I mean, that was never, ever going to let him escape. Now, when he revives, he will also not have that ult. The free track kill waiting here is going to get charged. Looks like Ember Spirit's also going to get bumped back. But with the Aegis, he actually is just going to charge right in. He doesn't give a damn about anything. Lifelong Tragedy there with the Glimmer Cape if needed. This is going to be not the fastest push in the world. They do have the Desolator on their team, but actually they're in catch 2 with the chains. Lowdown and Zara stuck in a Static Storm right now. The Vengeful Spirit's going to try to run out. Not going to happen in time. Zara also going to get chopped down by the Ember Spirit. Skewer back after the RP onto 2 as well. Sonic Wave does come through Kelp Disruptor, but it's way too late. 5 are down for FDG with a whole bunch of those being track kills. And now the Desolator is here, so now the push is really going to commence. Only 2 heroes have buyback. They may get 3 heroes up at the same time, but I'm pretty sure the Dire are going to be okay handling that. Now Silver Edge on the Magnus. This is looking pretty over. Shard's going to trap in the Dragon Knight. He's really tanky right now, but there's so much damage here that doesn't matter what you have as DK. He's going to fall. Droid also tracked up, 1101. Thinking about fountain diving. They don't have a Wind Ranger, however, so they can't get it done. Waiting here, gets swapped into the fountain. He's going to fall. Skewer out. Force staffing Droid out of the fountain, then skewering. Slick plays from working. Unfortunately, it doesn't matter. The game is already over.
What a great game. That was pretty solid. I always love to see those Magnus plays. You can really do great things with that hero, and particularly once you end up getting all those mobility items. Potentially, you could say that he didn't need that last Silver Edge, but at the end of the day, he's doing what he's doing.
All right, guys, that is going to be the end of this series. We have one more coming up for you guys shortly. It's going to be, again, FDG, who have just not had any luck in these series. Currently 2 games played, 2 losses. They're going to be going up against ESB, who are actually the same. So it's going to be a battle of the... I don't really want to say what I was going to say.
Somebody's going to win.
People battling on the lower end of the bracket, let's say. And yeah, it should be a lot closer than this one. At least I hope it will. Aspera pulling it out, even without our Zeke. Guys, I'm Mikelorus. I've been joined by Lyrical Gangster. The next game will be coming up in about 30 minutes, so don't go anywhere. If you enjoyed the casting, be sure to stick around. Be sure to follow us on Twitter at Mikelorus, at Lyrical Gangster with a 3 instead of an E, and we will be right back for the next game.